Hello, welcome in. I am posting this again right quick to remind people. But welcome in. This is the first ever off-season live stream. I'm not sure how long it is going to be because I mainly just want to talk about what you all can expect this off-season, and then here's some ideas for content-wise for next season. I have some ideas. Yeah, any big news these days? Well, Mr. Dunning, I don't know if you saw Wesley Hudson is in the transfer portal, which is unfortunate, but that's another starter down. So him and Schumann now are two starters. They're also roommates. So that is the latest news. It's not any we wanted to hear, but that's where we are. I see he's gotten a few FCS offers currently. So yeah, it is a tough loss. Unfortunately, we still have Braden Smith back. That should help, and I think we still have Ezekiel Duncan, the servant counselor, back. So that also helps, at least from a run-stopping perspective. Now I'm concerned about our interior pass rush. I don't know if this means we move Zachary Stillwell back inside like we did some in 2024. That I'm curious about, because he's undersized to be a tackle. But given our circumstances at this point, unless we bring somebody in or we have some red shirts that step up, but even then, I think we only signed one tackle. I think that was Louis Jones out of Mustang. So I'm concerned about our interior pass rush at this point in time. So that is where we are at this point in time. So I'm curious to see what we do on signing day, because I'm sure we will bring in some JUCOs. That's probably going to be a safe bet, and obviously we have the portal. So we should learn a lot more here in like the next month or so. So I think as long as we don't have any other significant losses, we should be okay. We should be okay there. But we have holes. We have kicker. Obviously, we got to get better production out of that receiving room. Whether we bring in new faces or other people show up, we got holes on our offensive line. I'm not too concerned about the defense. I think we return a lot back. Secondary kind of concerns me, because we are losing with Daniel, Connor, Jalen, Braden, and Willie. So we do return Abner, Brian, Ryan Stewart, Dalton Hurd, Marcus Works, D. Will. So I feel like we're in better shape defensively than our offensively, because we're also losing Dom Dunn as well. So I'm curious to see what we do there. However, we'll go ahead and get into it now. So my thoughts on the off-season, schedule-wise, I'm not entirely sure exactly like specific dates and times, because we'll get back to the one-on-ones that should resume next month. I usually give from whenever the season ends until January. I just let the players do what they got to do, because they have finals, and then we kind of see who's staying, who's not staying, and they can spend time with their families for the holidays and treat by Cannon. Cannon's a guy that's interesting, only because I saw he was a special team guy, and we saw, was it 2023 when Kazin and Reese were special team guys, and we saw the impact they've had the past couple of years. And I think Hank Puckett's also got to be in that mix as well, about guys that got special teams reps that might earn a bigger role, because we are losing. Connor Johnson is the main one. I mean, we do lose Hudson Grant, but that's mainly a special teamer. But we do have an open linebacker spot now, and so I think it would make sense for Kazin to step in that spot, which would mean we would have some openings there in that rotation. So I would like to think his name would be in there. We got so many names, though. There's Joey Javier, there's Hudson Conrad, there's Hank, there's Jet Kalmus, Brogan Hardy as well. Then we got some red shirts. So if there's one position on defense I'm never worried about, is linebacker, because Coach Harrell does such a good job there, almost like it is with us at running back now. Like, those are two positions I feel like we're just insanely deep and good at. So I am curious though to see how that shakes out, because you would like to think Reese is going to hold on to his starting job, given he had an all conference season. For the offseason, so we'll have one-on-ones again. I'll try it because I usually, like I said, let the players do what they got to do, because they have finals, and then we see who's leaving, seeing who's staying, and let them spend the holidays with their families. Then I start reaching out in January. I have a list of people that I want to get to. So far, none of them have transferred yet, so that's very good. So I do know at least like 4 or 5 people currently, and then we'll just see what happens if we get any interesting people via the portal. If we get any interesting freshmen, stuff of that nature will obviously change, but we will definitely getting back to the one-on-ones, and then obviously we'll have the signing day special. As of now, my schedule is still pretty open. My hope is to get that out sooner than it was last year. I think last year it was like 4 days late, I think, because the signing day was it on Tuesday or Wednesday? I don't think I got the video up until Sunday. So I hope to be able to get that up same day, is my hope. But it's going to just depend really on, for one, how many people we sign, because that'll dictate how much film I have to watch and how much film I have to capture. And then, because the recording isn't necessarily the hard part or the time-consuming part. The time-consuming part is the watching of the film, the capturing of the film, and then editing the film. That is what takes the majority of time. So depending on that, because last year, I think I didn't watch the film until that Friday after work. And then we had signed 30 something people. So I had to watch quarterback through linebacker, and went to bed at 3 a.m. And then I woke up and I finished the rest. And then from there I recorded and then edited and uploaded. So it took me 2 days, when in the past it's taken 1. So it just kind of will just depend there. But I hope to have that up sooner this year than it was for us last year. And then obviously come springtime, we'll have a spring preview. That'll probably, I don't know, I might do it on here as well. I'm not sure. I know last year I only did it on Spotify. Maybe we do that again. I'm not entirely sure. I'm open to that. If anybody wants to see a video on that, please let me know, and I can do it. But you'd be seeing the same clips that we saw during the season, right? So, but I can upload it here as well too. But that'll obviously happen. We'll have the spring preview, and then we have a spring game again, which I'm hoping we do, because that Southern Nazarene game was really interesting last year. And so I'm hoping that we we can have another scrimmage against somebody else. So then there'd be an episode following that, right? And then we would have more one-on-ones, and then we'd obviously would have the media day. I'm going to make an effort this year to try to figure out a way to get to that. I can probably just reach out to Chris Brannick and see what the process is to be able to get a media pass for that. I hope to attend that this year. That's on the list. That is on the list. I feel pretty good about my odds of that. So if that is a thing that actually happens, then we would have a lot of content based off that alone. Not only from us, because obviously each team has their own time slot. So we would get content obviously from Coach Doral and whoever we bring with us there, but they get a read on other teams, how they're looking, because normally during our time slot, I'm usually at work, so I'm usually only tuned in to our time slot and then just kind of quit listening after that. But if I'm able to go, we can get that. I can do a vlog off that. There'll just be a lot of content we can get off that. But regardless, we would have some kind of MIAA Media Day reaction, a little something on that. And then we would have more one-on-ones and a fall preview. And then we would have the season preview, and then we get into the regular season content and the weekly episodes, post-game highlight videos, that kind of stuff. So for the off-season, it'll mainly be one-on-ones, well, signing days, spring preview, maybe a spring recap, MIAA media days, a fall camp preview, season preview. That will be the off-season content. Now, in terms of in-season, well, highlights are not changing. That's just going to be a staple. But I did want to talk about the weekly show. Okay, that was something that just happened to it just happened by sheer happenstance. Like, I had the idea maybe 3 weeks for the season, and I just reached out to Dante and was like, "Hey, I have an idea. Are you interested in it?" And he said, "Yeah," and we kind of just rolled with it. And then we got contacted by Josh before we recorded the first episode, which I thought turned out extremely well for 3 guys that pretty much just met for the first time. And so we didn't really have a direction for it. But now we have a season under our belts, and I think Dante is more comfortable. And so what I'm trending toward is kind of like, I wanted to test out my idea with the last one with Montreal, but then Josh offered to come on because we had the whole NSU nonsense with their Robness and all that good jolly stuff. So I wanted him to come on because he had pointed out the strength of schedule stuff that like they were trying to argue as a metric. I thought it'd be good because I didn't really understand how that worked. So that was the thought process behind bringing him on for that when he had offered. But my thought process is, instead of doing it pre-recorded, we would stream it, Dante and I, and then we would bring on a guest. And so how I'm thinking about doing the guest is, if we were to do it, like say we were to do it after Pitt, like this past season, for example, right? Obviously, I would try to bring on Clayton Creasy at that point because you could say he was the player of the game, or was the person that we'd be most interested in talking to, right? That would be how I would go about that. Now, the problem with that is not everybody is talkative, right? So, like, for example, that's why you never saw me talk to Connor Johnson, or you never saw me talk to Dylan Buckhide, right? Because they just weren't. That's just not their personality, right? So, in cases like that, we would have to go to a different route. But that's my thought process is, and I have to run it by Dante, but I'm sure he'll be cool with it. It's like, we I don't know who we have for the opener next year, but let's just use I don't know, this past season for example. So at the Permian Basin, right? Okay, we we lost the game, but we ran for over 200 yards. So maybe I would have brought on a Montrell Lee. Maybe I would bring on I don't know, I couldn't bring on Cottrell. I could bring on, I don't know, Gabe Grazer or somebody, right? And then after Pitt, we would have tried to have brought on Clayton Creasy. You know, then after Washburn, we would bring on, I can't remember who. Oh, we probably would bring on Ashton Schumann at that point in time because he had like 100 yards in that game, right? So it would be things of that nature. We would take whoever the standout was from that week's game and try to bring them on as a guest. That's my thought process on how I want to do the weekly show next year. So it's not just Dante and I talking every time. And then, if possible, I'll try to figure out a way to get some clips involved. Maybe we throw some highlights of said person. So again, if we go back to that Pitt game, we have brought on Clayton. We have some highlights of Clayton playing in the background, something like that. That's my thought process on this, simply because I feel like it's, number one, and transparency, it is easier for me to live stream it, especially in the middle of the work week, because I don't have to record it with Dante and I have to edit it and then upload it, which takes a lot of time to upload an hour-long video, right? So if we can just stream it, it's directly there. Once the stream ends, the video is already there. I don't have to edit anything. And then plus, whoever wants to come in and interact with Dante, whoever our guest is more than welcome to. That's my thought process on how we can spice up the weekly show. And so that's what I was hoping that final weekly show would be a test run, but it didn't go as planned because, like I said before, we had Josh come in, and then my internet was kind of bugging out, so it didn't go as planned. But that's the thought process. So if anybody wants a better idea of that, if you go back to the last weekly show live stream, that first hour would be a good indication about how an episode would go. So I'm open to feedback on that. That's kind of my thought process on that. Is to kind of spice it up there, because I think it's good interaction, and it's another way for you guys to be able to interact directly to the guys as well. I've always liked doing that, like giving player and fan opportunity to intersect and interact directly instead of maybe going through me every time per se. That's my idea on handling the weekly show. And so I think if we do that, I think Wednesday would be the best day, because then we're not competing with Thursday Night Football, and it's good midweek. So that's my thought process on that. It would probably be 7. Ideally like to do 7 because I think it gives everybody time to get home and then, eat, shower, whatever they want to do. I think 7 o'clock's a good time. We usually go for about an hour. So I think that would be what I would do. Looking for running back with Bill Mason especially. Yeah, he's definitely one of the people on the list. Now, I don't know if he will. I don't really talk to Will a whole lot, but he's definitely one of the guys on the list. Actually, both of our running backs are going to be on that list of people I want to talk to. So I will go ahead and tell you that list now. So my idea for that list, in no kind of order, is Andrew Carney, Will Mason, Dev Matthews, Christian Valeriano, possibly, Hagen Hacker for sure, because he's a two-sport guy. Possibly Javon Thomas. I think who someone to bring on. Maybe Ross Johnston. I say that because he started a bunch for us this past year when Robert Givens was hurt. And so I'd be curious to see about that. That's a maybe. And then defensively, for sure, I want to bring on Cameron Dunn. Already been in contact with him. He seems to be willing to come on. So that will more than likely happen. I would also like to bring on Darius, Zachary, if possible. I'm debating Ethan Stites. I'm debating only because I would like to get another, a more, I don't know how to say this, a more a full season of him than just the kind of the spurts that we played. Although I did interview Mike Pope back in 2022 for a similar situation. So maybe there's a maybe there on Ethan Stites. Let's see who else. Reese for sure. I want to bring on Reese for sure. I want to bring on Kazin for sure because they're both seniors now. And then in the secondary, Abner for sure because he has a well of a story because he's like a financial person too. He has like his own side business now. It's really interesting. So I already brought on D. Will. I should bring on Dalton Hurd only for the vibes because I feel like I keep saying he's a press box legend. If I do that, I need to tell Ian because we might gotta make that work. And that's probably the list I have currently. So I mean, that would give us that's about what, like 10 guys. So I mean, that's a pretty good list. So I think we can start from there, and then, like I said, work our way down. And we get an interesting transfer, we get a big name freshman. I can always build upon that list. That's just roughly who I have in mind. Of those, I feel confident in the vast majority. A couple, there might be a maybe, just because I haven't really, like, I don't know if they'd be interested in that percent. Not that they wouldn't be interested in, like, talking to me. I just don't know if, like, doing a podcast episode is their thing, like I said. Because before, I tried to reach out to Connor. That wasn't his thing. Dylan Buckhype before, it wasn't really his thing, right? So, we'll see how that goes. But that is my rough list at this point in time. So maybe Braden Turner. I guess he's like be the main tight end now. Although I think Andrew Carney also plays some tight end, so maybe. But that is the list there that I'm going off of. I think what else I want to talk about. And then so in terms of in season, that's what I wanted to do with the show. The weekly show to kind of spice it up there. So not just Dante and I every single week. Although we do appreciate the support this season on that. Like I said, it wasn't really fleshed out at the time. It was just more of, hey, I have this loose concept. You played in the conference. You said if I ever needed you for anything, you'd be down to come on and talk. So that's kind of how that happened. Plus, I think this was his first time doing something of that nature as well. So that's also, kind of, I feel like it kind of took a minute for him to kind of get more comfortable in it. I think towards the end, I think we saw that there. So that's my thing to kind of take that to a next level, because I feel like it did get kind of redundant at a certain point. It was only Dante and I. But I think if we can bring on, an impact player from the previous week's game, right, I think that would be a way to spice it up, a way to get fan interaction with you all and the player and the fan. Because I know the fall camp update and spring ball update, which will also happen, right? We do those in streams. It usually gets a decent turnout, right? So it kind of would be the same thing. And if there was two players, say maybe Jet had a great game and Jack had a great game, we try to bring on both, kind of figure that out. So that's my thought process there. Now, it would be new because I haven't really talked to guys in season. Like, I have during fall camp and during spring ball. I find that's kind of different though. So I don't know. I might get told no, not because they don't want to come on, but because it's in the middle of the week. Maybe they're mentally that's not their thing. So I mean, there's definitely going to be some. Probably we have to work around some things, but I think feasibly that can work. So that's my thought process there. Highlight video will stay the same. Now I did the weekly podcast. Now I did look at I got the Spotify Wrapped this afternoon, and I will say I was surprised that we grew again over there. So I appreciate everybody that listens over there on Spotify. I'm pretty sure we have more growth over there this year than we did last year, which kind of surprised me, given we had a better season last year, and that's normally when things grow. So I'll have a post out probably Sunday about that. But like just as like we were heard in like several different countries. I think we were a top podcast for like a good chunk of people. I think we gained, was it 21%? We gained new followers. So like it just was fantastic. And then over here, we also gained, I should have taken note of how many we were at before the season, but I know we're over 300 subscribers now, so that's pretty cool because we were like, I don't know, we were we might have been like 250, maybe 250 early in the off season. So but that's also cool. So I greatly appreciate you all support there. So I think that'll continue to be on Spotify. I think I just like how that works. Now you have the weekly episode on Spotify, and then you'll have a post game here. Whenever I get that up is whenever I post the post game. So like if the game ends at 10, and then say I get home at 11:30, as soon as that is finished editing and uploading, it is going live. So I like that. That way, it's there for those night owls. But post game will still be over here too. I try to grab who I can. Those I know. I know Mr. Dunn knows how that usually works post game, but you're kind of just down there, kind of grabbing guys. So I usually try to get the main ones right. So if Jet goes for 400 yards, I'm obviously try to get Jet. If Jack has 50 tackles, I'm gonna try to get him right. Say Davis Barr has like 350-yard punts, I'm gonna get Davis Barr right. So that's kind of how that works. But that won't change. Highlights won't change, and that won't change. So I'm thinking schedule-wise, we would have highlight video Monday 6 p.m. We would have weekly show Wednesday, probably 7 p.m. live. And then we would have post-game if possible. If we have any post-game, would be like that Saturday night / early Sunday morning. And then we'd have the podcast episode Sunday afternoon. Is how that would work. Now, I have toyed around with doing something on like end of week, and I don't think it'd be possibly, I don't know. It would. My thought process on this, and anybody can leave a comment or reach out to me. The contact info should be somewhere on the channel. Would be if like I take the preview that I do like during the podcast, the second half of the podcast is previewing next week's opponent. Since I do have the pass on MIAA Network during the season, I could in theory just capture, I don't know, like X amount of a game. So like say we're playing Washburn, I just go over to who Washburn played the week prior, capture necessary footage, and then I can make a video of that here, and maybe we put that on like a Friday, but I don't know because it's high school football, so I don't know if that would be best to be put on a Thursday. Let me know. Just let me know. Number one, let me know if you're interested in that. And number two, if you are, let me know what you think would be a good date for that. Because Friday would make logical sense. We'd have highlights Monday, stream Wednesday, and then scouting on Friday. But I do know Friday is a big day for high school football, obviously. So I don't know. I can still do it if some people want it, but I just need to know. Or do we put that on a Tuesday? Do we put it on Thursday? Like just let me know, because it wouldn't be really any extra work. I mean, it'd be extra work in terms of like capturing the footage, but as far as putting it together, it wouldn't be anything too extra because I already would have that audio recorded from the podcast. So let me know on that. I was also curious about that too, but that could be another way to add more content, because I've been saying it feels weird to have like Sunday, Monday, now Wednesday, and then nothing again until that Sunday. So that's my thought process there. Finally, I did want to touch on merch. I did mention earlier that I started the process of that. That's still in the works. I have full transparency on that. I'm working with brother Adam Francisco. He has his own clothing line that some of the Thunder players wear called Controversial. I reached out to him about it. He's 100% on board with that. Obviously, as we know, it's his basketball season, so he is insanely busy. So we probably won't circle back on that until after the NBA season, which is given the Thunder's play, what might be like in July or so. Like that is still in the works. I haven't forgotten about it. It's just he's just insanely busy, right now. So once he's free, we plan to circle back on that and then try to get that out before the season. That's my goal. I had merch that I had teased earlier. I didn't really like how it came out. Like it's the shirt that you see me wear, like to the game. So when you see me, it has little like Choso emblem and whatnot. But I don't really like it. It shrinks. So it shrinks sometimes whenever you wash it. So I want to get better quality, and I want to see if I can get a better design for it, because it feels really bare. So I gave the ones that I had. I gave one to Dante. I kept a couple, and then I gave the rest to the guys in the locker room because they have been asking to. So they have version 1. So I'm gonna work on version 2. And then the good thing about working with Adam as well is he already has a place to house it, and you could just go there and then order it from there. I also would encourage you to order his Controversial stuff too. Very good quality stuff. I recommend it as well. He's also a former Cho. He's the founder, CEO of Suave Report. So without him, this wouldn't have been a thing either. So that's the update on merch. So that's what I'm thinking right now in terms of off season. We'll have one-on-ones, signing day, spring preview, spring update, media day, fall camp preview, fall camp update, season preview. Of those, the fall camp preview, spring preview, and season preview as of now will be only on Spotify. If you want me to put that on here, I truly can. But just let me know. I think the past 2 years I only put it on Spotify. So if you want that back on the channel, let me know. But we'll have every one-on-one. We'll have all the live streams. So the spring live stream update, fall camp live stream update. That will be here. If I'm able to attend media day, we get content off of that. That will also be on here too. And then in terms of in season, Mondays will be the highlight video. Wednesday, I need to confirm this with Dante, but probably have a weekly show live stream on Wednesday, 7 p.m. with a guest. And then if you want to see scouting on the next week's opponent, let me know. And if so, on what date. So that could be Thursday, it could be a Friday. And then we have the post game up on Saturday night / Sunday morning, whenever it's ready to go. So that's all I wanted to touch on. I appreciate each and every one of you. It was another great season of growth. We grew across both Spotify and here, so I sincerely appreciate it. Again, without you all, I'm just a guy rambling for undetermined amount of time. So hope you all had a good Thanksgiving. I hope you all have a good Christmas and New Year's, and spend time with your loved ones. Hopefully watch some good football. get some good presents from Santa. But I look forward to being back with you all, and hopefully early January is the hope. I'll start reaching out probably after the New Year's. And so hopefully we will have a one-on-one on here sooner rather than later. My goal is to at least get one out before signing day. And then obviously we have signing day. That will take up the bulk of my time. But that is the plans. That is the plan. So again, feel free to leave any feedback, comments, ideas, suggestions below. I will look at them. And if it's feasible and it looks something that would be interesting and would add value, I'm 100% into exploring that option. So until next time, my name is Jonathan Goodo, aka JD Smooth. I'll talk to you all later.